Right, I am back, and I started doing the video, but for some reason the thing just went corrupted. So there was like 5 minutes of the video that I had done already gone. So I'm starting again, and I left off with storage device. And last video I was introduced wherever I was talking about, and I ended up talking about DVD 9 and Blu-rays. Moving on to the hardware, the console itself. PlayStation 3 has built-in wireless. The power brick is inside the console already. The first models, the 60 gig models, had card readers and backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 2, and storage space on the hard drive. It's been going up and down, up and down. It's been diverse. Like, there's one for everybody basically. That's 20, 40, it's been 60, 200 and something, I don't know, 260 if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. It's just been going up and down, up and down, up and down. My PlayStation is my first PlayStation was a 60 gig PlayStation. 60 gig PlayStation was one of the first ones, if you want to call it. Had backwards compatibility and everything. But I'm so unlucky with my electronic devices. Like, my first PSP had a burnt pixel. My PS2 burned, stopped working all of a sudden, wouldn't read CDs. And the same happened to my 60 gig PlayStation. There was this day, at the time it was Pro Evolution 2008. I popped the game and I was about to play, and nothing. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't read the CD. I reset the whole PlayStation, put like standard definition, like everything went back to normal, and it still wouldn't work. So I could have called Sony, and they would have fixed it for me, but I would have to pay for it. It's just the Blu-ray driver stopped working. I was one of that little percentage, which is like what, 10% failure. It's not even 10% failure rate, I think, that the PlayStation 3 has, which is very good. A console that has a 10% failure rate, it's really good. Though I could have called up Sony and I would have to pay for it. Though they would fix it for me, and I would have my 60 gigs. But at the time, and this is where hype comes in a bad timing. GTA 4 was about to come out, and I wanted to play it real bad because of all the hype. Because for me, San Andreas was the best game ever. So I was hoping to see what Rockstar could do on the. Why is people screaming around there? God damn it! Hope y'all can't hear that. Yeah, so I was waiting to see what Rockstar had to do on GTA 4 next console. It's a big deal. Because if you see the leap between GTA 1 and GTA London and GTA 2 to the first GTA on the PlayStation 3, it was different. It was like, whoa, you get to see the game from up here to being there. So on that, GTA was gonna come out, and I was like, nah, I just swapped my console for a 40 gig. Which was a very dumb move at the time. Well, at the time it seemed okay, because I didn't give a shit. Because I was tired, because I had gone to one shop and they didn't want to swap it for me, and then they sent me to another shop, and I went there, and then they were making this big deal. By the time I got out of there, I was just relieved I had a console at all. So I swapped it for a 40 gigs. The main problem for me was that 40 gigs didn't have like all those USBs, and it was less memory, and the cards I kind of could live without it, I guess. And the backwards compatibility is what bites me in the ass still today. So I resolved the problems. I'm very clever. No, just kidding. I got a 320 gig hard drive, put it in myself. You guys can do it too. Just check videos on YouTube, or just read the manual book that comes with PlayStation. They just tell you the steps on how to change your hard drive. It's no big deal, it's very easy. And then to solve the USB problem, you know those little things you buy in the shops around there, they just have like USBs, like you just plug it there and it has 4 coming out. Basically that works on a PlayStation. That's one advantage. Another advantage of the PlayStation, it's very compatible with like all devices all around, like whether it be cameras, keyboards, mouses, USBs, whatever. It just works with everything. So I have one of those little USB things. It has 4 USBs and it has all the cards. So basically that's my problem solved. And the other problem was like the backwards compatibility, which is I'm still hoping and praying for an emulator, which may eventually come out, I guess. So after getting my 320 gigs comes another good feature of the PlayStation, which I'm not using at the moment. It was a headache to install because I'm on SD. I have a standard def television, and you need to change loads of stuff to install that. I installed Linux, Yellow Dog Linux, on my PlayStation 3, and it works perfect. The power of the PlayStation is more than enough to support the operating system, and it's really good. Though I haven't been using it because I just have my computer, and whenever I needed to use it, I just get my mouse and keyboard off my computer to plug in my PlayStation. So I'm better off just using my computer. So Yellow Dog Linux, Ubuntu is better. If you are going to install an operating system, try to get Ubuntu. Yellow Dog is good, Ubuntu is better. That's all there is to it. And I spoke a little bit on the hardware. Yeah, processing power. I don't want to sound like a geek on this because I have no clue what I'm talking about, but the PlayStation 3 has a cell processor, what it's called, a processor which is called cell processor, whatever, and apparently it's like extremely, well, no, apparently you have the proof right on your PlayStation. It's an extremely powerful processor. I've heard, do not quote me on what I'm about to say. I've heard it, I don't know if it's true or not. If you research or if you know about it, just let me know, post a comment or whatever. But computer processors, right now the most powerful one is the Core i7, which is freaking expensive. So they say that the PlayStation 3's processor equals to a Core i7 processor. If that is true, then that is sick, because the Core i7 is the ultimate thing out there for the computers. So that's another thing on hardware. And I think we covered the PlayStation hardware, if I'm not mistaken. It's a beautiful machine. It's very compatible with all different devices. Yeah, God, what else? Oh yeah, I was forgetting the big stuff. Output. It has a optical surround sound cable output thing, which is what I use, because the optical for me is just better than whatever else there is out there, because to connect that optical to my surround sound I get on whatever game there is, with like what Killzone has a sick sound, for example. I get on Killzone and just the sound effects. Call of Duty too. Call of Duty, either be World at War or Modern Warfare, in the single campaign, surround sound is just great. So you have that output, you have the normal AV output, and you have HDMI, which is it does an output of 1080p 60 frames per second, which is like the cream of the crop, is the best of the best. And yeah, and it has the little power cable and everything. And you'll catch me on the next video talking about the software and whatever else there is. Peace. Holla at me.